What do you think would happen if spacesuits are damaged in outer space? Movies often show people exploding, freezing instantly, or having their blood boil. But is that what would really happen? Surprisingly, the first thing that would kill you is neither the cold nor your blood boiling. In as little as 15 seconds, you could lose consciousness. Today, we'll explore what actually happens to the human body in the vacuum of space, step by step. Outer space is completely different from the environment we live in on Earth. There is no air. There is almost no atmospheric pressure. On Earth, our bodies are constantly surrounded by atmospheric pressure. We never notice it because we've lived with it our entire lives. In space, however, that pressure drops to nearly zero. That single difference triggers a chain of dramatic changes inside the human body. Imagine your spacesuit suddenly ruptures, exposing you directly to the vacuum of space. The first rule is simple. Do not hold your breath. Without external pressure, the air trapped inside your lungs expands rapidly. If you hold your breath, your lungs can be seriously damaged. That's why astronauts are trained to exhale during a rapid depressurization emergency. Once the air leaves your lungs, your body has no new source of oxygen. From that moment on, you're relying only on the oxygen already circulating in your bloodstream. And the clock starts ticking. At this point, many people ask an important question. If I can hold my breath underwater for over a minute, why would I pass out in space after only 15 seconds? The answer lies in the difference between water and a vacuum. When you're underwater, even if you're holding your breath, your lungs are still full of air. That air continues supplying oxygen to your blood. In space, things are completely different. Once your suit loses pressure, the air in your lungs escapes almost immediately. There is no air left to store oxygen, and normal oxygen exchange in the lungs can no longer occur. Your brain consumes more oxygen than almost any other organ. As oxygen levels fall, the brain is affected first. After about 10 to 15 seconds, it can no longer function normally, and you lose consciousness. So the first thing that brings you down isn't the cold. It's oxygen deprivation. This is one of the biggest myths about space. Because space is a near-perfect vacuum, water can boil at normal body temperature. So does your blood boil too? Not exactly. Your blood remains inside blood vessels, where it's still under pressure. That pressure helps prevent it from boiling immediately. However, fluids exposed in tissues, such as saliva, tears, and moisture in the lungs, can begin to form vapor bubbles. This phenomenon is called ebullition. Your body may swell slightly, but it won't explode. Human skin is remarkably strong and keeps your body intact. Hollywood often exaggerates this effect for dramatic purposes. Space is incredibly cold. The average temperature is close to minus 270 degrees Celsius. So why wouldn't you freeze immediately? Because there is almost no air. On Earth, cold air removes heat from your body very efficiently. In space, heat escapes mainly through radiation, which is a much slower process. Eventually your body would cool down. But long before freezing becomes the biggest problem, you would already have lost consciousness from a lack of oxygen. So despite what movies often show, instant freezing simply doesn't happen. This isn't just theory. In 1965, during a vacuum chamber test at NASA, a technician was accidentally exposed to conditions similar to the vacuum of space. Just before losing consciousness, he later recalled something remarkable. He said, "I could feel the saliva on my tongue starting to boil." Moments later, he passed out. Fortunately, the chamber was repressurized quickly, and he survived. This incident demonstrated that while exposed body fluids can begin to boil in a vacuum, your blood is not what kills you first. So let's return to our original question. What really happens if you take off your spacesuit in space? You don't explode. You don't freeze instantly. And your blood doesn't immediately boil. The first real danger is oxygen deprivation. Within just 10 to 15 seconds, you can lose consciousness. It's a powerful reminder that the air we breathe and Earth's atmosphere are quietly protecting us every single second of our lives. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.